Hey guys, welcome back to Double the Hustle podcast. I'm Anna.
And I'm Tori.
Just kidding, you probably mix us up all the time. I'm Tori.
And I'm Anna. And today, guys, we're going to sit down to talk to you guys about how to be present in where you are today, be grateful for your past, and be goal-oriented in what you're going for in your future. Come along with us. Let's stay grounded while still attacking our goals and not feeling like we're chasing something every day.
Subscribe to our YouTube and come back every Tuesday at noon to double your hustle. Alright, today's a solo episode, and we're going to talk about being your future self, and you are already your future self, and being able to know that you're already that person, and manifesting to be that person, and living like the person that you are chasing.
Yeah, I think it's important to do that because I feel like oftentimes like we get caught up in like chasing and forget to be where our feet actually are.
Right.
I think that's huge.
To be present.
Yeah, whether, I think I struggle with it a lot. I'm not going to lie. I think I'll be vulnerable here and just, say that it's something that I struggle with tremendously. Like I'm always chasing what's next, and I forget to like compliment myself for things that I've done and I think it's a good like attitude to like keep going, keep chasing, but it almost to a sense like you're never like happy enough.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like a sad feeling, like just like always chasing something and never feeling like it's enough. Like there's always something like, else to go for.
Say you're trying to sell something and you sold that one thing, now you're on to the next thing trying to sell another one.
Yeah.
But like your goal was to sell that one thing. So I think it is a little bit hard because you're always like wrapped up, but like you need to kind of ground yourself in a way.
Yeah.
And, be able to be like, I did that. Yes, check it off. So like I guess in that we really rarely like check off our goals once we get to them. Yeah. Like a lot of people at the beginning of the year, do a list of goals that they want to accomplish for the year. But then like when they reach that goal, do they actually check it off? Or at the end of the year, do they just look back and be like, oh, I did that. Yeah. So like, I think it's a little bit, at least I need to do that. Like one of our goals for the year was to start a podcast. Yeah. Did I look at the list and check it off? No. But we've been doing it for 6-7 months now. Yeah. And like, so I think that it's, to sit once in a while and be like, yes, I did that is good.
It's a huge point on like reflection period because that's very strong. And I think that's what helps you maybe like actually realize that like these are things that I've have had on my list, but also things that I've been wanting and like, whether you pray for it or you visualize it, whatever you do, it's things that you've wanted to do. So I feel like it's a strong point to like reflect on maybe like 2 or 3 years ago and be like, this is what I was actually wishing for and praying for, now I'm in it, and I think like that's a huge part that people miss out on, especially like in today's like world, like because we're all moving so fast. I just think that people just don't actually like it's like give not grace but like be grateful for like for what you have,
and what you accomplished.
And I think that maybe that would actually help people be like more happy or more satisfied
in the moment,
or feel like they're living out their purpose is just doing what they want to do but also reflecting back and I think it's a huge in like relationships too, because I think like you wish that you like some people like take some people for granted,
right? No,
and
of
I
course.
think that then let's say in years that person is gone,
right?
And you wish that you had that back, but like you didn't. You're reflecting on it, like I just feel like people aren't grateful enough. And I think even if it's somebody who's like passed away, it doesn't, like a relationship, like a friend relationship, anything, like I feel like reflection is really like key to like be like present in the moment and be happy.
Yeah, I think even if we go through it now, like do you have anything that 3 years ago was like on your list that you're like accomplished?
Of course. I mean, listing this 2 months ago, I listed a $6 million house on Long Island, and that probably was one of my biggest dreams at one point when I started real estate, and I don't reflect on it too much because I feel like, it's not that big.
Right.
Because
now,
of the goals that I have.
Right.
But like, you also have to remember that 3 years ago, you were wishing to sign a $6 million listing, you know?
Or maybe now you're just on like, now I need to sell it. But
of course, yeah. Because what's listing it if you don't sell it?
Right. But like, stop and like appreciate that you actually got the listing. They believed in you. And now go on to the next goal, but make sure you're like,
yeah,
look what I did.
Of course.
Like, actually got it. And of course, like, don't be too cocky because like, that's obviously not good either, but just appreciate yourself. I mean, for me, reflecting back, I'll tell you that 2-3 years ago, I was hoping to get into vet school.
Yeah.
But then vet school came and I moved to Grenada, into another country. And I'm like, do I really like it here? Now I want to transfer. But like, I'm so grateful for that spot.
Yeah.
That I actually got the spot to be in vet school. Like, and now I'm just like, let me get through the semesters. Let's like be done with this already. But like,
it's something that you wished for, getting into the school.
And now I'm just like, oh, like let's transfer so that like we can do more things. And it's just like ongoing. But like, I never like actually, I did like, when I realized that I wasn't like so appreciative, I actually like sat down and was like, wow, like actually like tried to like take it in. Because like I forgot to do that.
Yeah. And it's something hard. It's hard to do. It's not easy, but
yeah.
I think it's also important to realize that you're not doing that.
That many people get cut and don't get any spot at all.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that it plays a huge part into like be present. You have to like play this game of like being grateful for the past, being present in what you're doing now, but also embodying who you want to be in the future.
Right.
And I think like if you can do all three of those, it gives you like kind of like peace and purpose,
feeling fulfilled. Yeah, exactly.
Because if you can, be grateful, be present, and embody where you're trying to go, all those three things, hold together. So I think that that's the goal, and for being grateful, looking in the past, what can we do? We can reflect, set our goals, meet our goals, understand that we've met those goals. What can we do to be in the present is just kind of, maybe just taking like a few minutes to be with ourselves or do something to be with your family, doing something where like putting your phone down for a little while, stopping work. Those are things that maybe could bring you back to, being
in the moment,
in the present moment. And then for like embodying future things that you want to do, I think it's all about like really coming down and being with yourself about who you want to be. Because a lot of people are
setting those scheduled goals.
Yeah, but a lot of people are chasing and don't even know who they want to be. So
they're
I think
that's
like
something that's not real, like a social media presence or like
not even that. They just like don't know what they want.
Yeah.
They're just running and they have no direction in where they're running.
Right.
So I think that's important, is like embodying and sitting down with yourself and actually seeing who you
honestly
what
sometimes
you align
that
with.
even helps me for like the week, because sometimes I'm like, I sit down at the beginning of the week and I'm like, what am I doing this week? I'm gonna like, I feel myself even like the middle of the week and I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Write down your goals. What do you want to accomplish at the end of the week to get them done?
Yeah.
I think that really helps.
I think things that would help you embody your future is like a little bit of like visualization, which I know is really hard to do because I struggle with it. Or just sitting there, even like writing down who you want to be is good too, but I think visualizing it is hard.
Whatever works for you.
Yeah. I think that it's very important in playing a role in understanding where you want to go. Or maybe even like following people that are already there, in a sense of where you are, where you want to go.
Exactly.
I think that helps a lot as well. But what do you think?
Kind of like looking up to someone, you're saying?
Yeah, like in terms of embodying yourself, like or embodying where you want to go in the future, what could help?
I think that a lot of it has to do with like your mindset as well as being, people always say this, and I know it's obviously easier said than done, but be the whoever that person is that you want to be, live like you would still live. And I know like that, like some people dream of like having luxurious cars or like big houses, and they're like, then how do I live that life if I like want that? But like live like the actual person. Obviously you're not going to have all those things yet, but like if you want to be disciplined, if you want to work out, if you know want to be in shape, if you want to eat healthy, if you whatever it may be, if you want to go walking every evening, do those things and then complete your goal, complete whatever your maybe financial goals are, work goals, whatever they are. If you want to start a podcast, if you want to do social media, start doing those things like you already have them and keep working towards them, because you're never gonna get there if you don't, number one, start, and number two, like you need to be doing it. Like it's not like fake it till you make it, but like almost in that sense. Like do it until you make it. Which I believe heavily in, because like I always want like a structured day. So I try to write down my day every night before I go to bed, so that in the morning I know what already needs to be done when I get up. So that really helps me to stay like on track, to kind of time blocking. But obviously like sometimes you get burnt out when you like time block so much. So I kind of try to leave things like a little bit open and a little bit like more flexible, but I definitely do try to do that because I'm that person that likes to check everything off my list.
Yeah, I think something that could be really, you know, like I guess important is just also taking time to like do what you want, you know?
Right.
I
Not
find
always be in
myself
that like business mode.
I find myself like always also trying to like make other people happy.
Okay.
And like doing things that like doesn't even like align with like what I'm trying to get done for the day. You know, like just like it's, you have to really focus in on you and like leave people behind if they're not aligning with your goals.
Right.
And I think that's very hard for people to do,
but it also goes hand in hand, because like you do need to step away from business and be with your family. So,
yeah,
like,
but
there's that fine line.
Yeah, but I also think that like that's one thing if they're being like supportive of you, and like one thing if they're not. You know, I just think that like you really have to focus in on like what you want, and really attach everything that you're doing to that goal and aligning with that goal, because I feel like a lot of the times like the day like gets away from me. And like I haven't even done what I wanted to do, you know? So I feel like doing tasks and like aligning those with your goals is like so important to keep a routine daily, because if you don't, like you lose like so much time just like thinking about things that like, if you just start already, just start doing it. Stop like thinking, you know, like you lose so much of that time. So I just feel like also like embodying yourself and just like letting go of like things you're doing for like other people that aren't even, you know, aligned with, you know, like where you want to go, and being actually structured, because I feel like I struggle with that a little bit, you know?
Yeah, I do.
Not focusing on maybe like my business. Some weeks I'm focusing too much on like the dispensary, for instance, you know, instead of like building my own business. And it's like you have these goals to hit, and like you're focusing more on somebody else's business than your own. And I think that's
I definitely agree this, but I'm going to play devil's advocate here, because like if you look at Gary Vee, how many years did he work for his dad's company?
A long time.
Without complaining about like his business.
Yeah.
So like take and give, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I do totally get that, but also like you're growing, so which goes back to like you don't actually see that you're growing, but like you have. You got that $6 million deal. So like we were talking about before, like if you were to go in your camera roll like 6 months ago and look back at like the pictures you have taken or where you actually were 6 months ago, you would see that you made improvement. So like I don't know, 6 months ago, like we weren't even thinking of buying the businesses that we're buying now, or we had just started this podcast. Did you think that like we would get as many guests on that we have
That we
got, or the
have,
types of guests that we have gotten on this podcast,
which is
So-
really cool. Yeah, to
right.
see,
So
you
like,
know.
I'm sure like other things, if we looked back 6 months ago, we would be like so grateful for that. We're like, are small things, but like the small wins, they turn into big ones.
Oh yeah,
So,
and I think the small ones are honestly like the most important.
yeah.
You know,
so
I
like if
feel
you're
like-
looking right now, if you're watching this podcast, like think back to 6 months ago, or like just go to like your camera roll, scroll back 6 months ago, and just reflect and see like what actually happened, what do you accomplish, what can you do better, like just reflect, and it'll open
and like
your
write
eyes
it down,
like, a lot more.
write it down, and look at it, and
Yeah.
look at it, and try to like analyze,
like the list
figure out.
the list that we were talking about.
Yeah, and I think that that's really cool because it shows you, you know, like pictures, like you don't have to visualize
Right.
it, like pictures are right there, so you'll see exactly, you know, what you did 6 months ago and where you are now, and but like I was saying, I think that the small wins are most important. The big things like don't feel, I don't know, that's how I feel lately. The big things don't feel so like
Because once they get
purposeful,
done, then they're over.
you know,
like that
yeah,
kind of
like
thing.
it's just like, I don't know, like we've been growing like our podcast, and we've been growing like the foundation to do the fundraiser, and I feel like those are the things that have the least return on investment, right, because we're not making money off of our podcast, we're not making money off the fundraiser, you know,
Right.
but I feel like those are the things that are like most fulfilling,
Right.
and it's like really like mind boggling to like feel when like I sold a $3 million property and get a
And
huge
could care less.
commission check,
Right.
but could like keep chasing that and doing it over and over again, and it doesn't feel the same as the day we get up to like go shoot pods and like meet new people and be with those people, and just like the vibe and the energy in the room is so different. So I feel like, you know, it's cool to see like those little
The
things.
little wins like are big.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that. Let's do like a little reflection thing. 3 like of your proudest moments like in the last 5 years that you've kind of maybe accomplished. We kind of went over the reflection of like selling the house.
3. Do you have your 3?
Well, I think definitely like vet school is probably like my biggest one. Proudest moment getting into vet school, I think, is number 1. Number 2 would be starting the podcast. I think that was great for us. We always talked about like doing something together because obviously we were always together, but like we did have different careers. Other than like other twins, they have like the same career. We were kind of different, so we wanted something to like bring us back together. So the podcast definitely. Number 3, maybe just like looking forward to like buying a business together. Obviously it hasn't happened yet, but that, I think.
Yeah, I think so. 3 of like my proudest moments in the last 3 years. 3 of my proudest moments, I think like opening the dispensary for our family was definitely like one of like the proudest moments that I've had. You know, it had nothing to really do with like me, but like for our family, I think that was like huge, you know, like it puts our family like on the map as like something big that our family has done. And like our family doesn't, not that we don't do big things, but like, I think that was really big for our family to do that.
Like
and
actually owning a location.
Yeah, and actually like being in business and having like a physical location and being able to scale something so big and just being a part of that and seeing that and doing that, all the people that we've met. So I think that that's really cool.
Okay.
In the last 3 years that, you know, we've got to do, because it's been over the course of 3 years. It took so long.
Right.
Another thing is probably one of the proudest moments. You know, like being in a relationship was like very eye-opening for me, I guess.
Right.
You know, I think I would like to say, even though I'm not in it now, I would like to say that it was, you know, one of the prouder like moments that I've had. I think not, you know, I think it's just like getting to like feel that like that way and like feel like like I've never been in a relationship before, so like experiencing that, I
Right.
guess, you know, is cool, and I think it was, you know, a lot of fun, and I don't have any like regrets. I think that was, you know, something that I could, you know, look back on and be like happy of. Like
Right.
it opened
Yeah.
my eyes to so much, and
Definitely.
like to have like that experience to. Before that I was so like introverted, so I
Right.
feel like it like opened
Brought you
my
out.
eyes to things that like I never would have even imagined, places that we went that I would have never imagined that I would have gone
By
like
yourself. Yeah,
by
exactly.
myself, you know. So I think that definitely being in a relationship over the last 3 years that I'm not in now was definitely very eye-opening for me, and I think that also being out of that relationship is probably my third thing that's really eye-opening to me. Just it's very weird to go from being in a relationship to being out of a relationship,
Right.
and like it's weird to have that feeling that you feel like you're leaving something behind,
Right. Yeah.
but like it's not there.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree.
So I think, and you know, it'll make like me really emotional, but I just feel like that's, you know, probably one of my prouder moments is like too, like being in it and,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
getting out of it and being able to like not find myself again, because I don't think that I lost myself, but like being able to just
Like work harder on yourself.
like come back to just being alone. Like
Yeah.
that's really hard to do.
Right. Yeah.
I think for anybody to
Oh yeah, of course.
let go and be alone again and you know, be able to like continue what you're doing and continue pushing yourself. I think that it's genuinely really hard to do. So I feel like that's probably my top 3 that I could look back on that, you know, has helped me grow over the last 3, you know, years.
Right.
Like I said, that was for our past. So we can move to like our present, like being like present, which is what I probably struggle with like the most.
Yeah.
Just because I'm always like feel like we're working, you know,
Yeah.
like chasing something, which is good. I enjoy my work, so I don't mind it. But even like these last few weeks, we've been like going to get ice cream with Ange at night, and I think that like that's fun.
Yeah.
like
Doing little things. Yeah.
yeah, like taking her to get Starbucks after work, or like doing something little that like cheers her day up, but like at the same time like is helping us
Stay present. Yeah.
stay
exactly.
present in you know what we're doing, and realizing
Totally
that like
agree. Or,
she's watching us.
Swimming at nighttime.
Yeah, like
going in the
little
jacuzzi,
things
yeah.
like that, you know. Doing it with our family, I think, is stuff that keeps you like grounded, you know. And I think that that's like cool too. Like the other day, we went and got tacos. Like that was fun, and walked around the track. Like
Right.
that's cool. Like
Yeah.
little stuff like that. And then as far as like the future goes, like it's just like those are like your goals, what you're chasing, what you're after. So I think that even, you know, like what's one big goal that you have in the future?
Far future, I would say obviously is like finishing vet school and, you know, opening whatever that may be, my own practice, or working under someone else, whatever I have, you know, whatever I feel during that time. A little bit closer, obviously, again, like actually fulfilling and getting and actually like owning a business together. I know we own like a few like small things, but like actually owning like a location and like big business that we can actually grow into something huge. And something else.
You don't have to say 3.
I'm trying to think. Being able to like travel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, definitely. Because I feel like I want to travel all over, but like I don't want to do it too far. Like I don't want to get held up in like life, like moving from college then to getting a job, and then you can only go away like once a year. You know, like I want to be able to travel.
We talked
and,
about
like,
that the other
see-
day.
Yeah.
Like now the goal
like going
is different.
on trips, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
so-
still making like money.
yeah, exactly.
But being able to travel.
Yeah,
I think that's what everybody wants to do, but it's just
Of
like
course.
the hardest thing
Yeah.
of like trying to get it. Like, how are you making money, you know,
Right.
online?
yeah,
I think that, you know, 3 of my, I won't say 3 just because that's a lot, but, you know, one of my bigger goals is to transact a year of like 50 deals
okay.
to do,
Yeah.
in a year.
In a year,
And I think, which is, you know, achievable. And I don't think it could be like 50 deals or like hitting let's just say like 70 million in volume, because like it's the same thing. It doesn't have to be 50 deals if you're doing like 10, whatever, 10 million dollar homes. So I think it's just being able to find a system in my
that
real
you have
estate
a pipeline.
that's like that's generating and doing like numbers of deals every month.
And like
so I think
keeps
that's
moving itself.
really strong for me, like in the future, is just like getting that set pack down, so that maybe in the future I could like start generating leads to like a team or something like that, like it's not just myself doing deals. I think that's another big goal of mine, is to actually like buy real estate, because I want to invest in it. I think like, who are you selling real estate if you've never invested in it?
Right.
And I am, we are young, so I'm not like pushing that on myself, but I do want to invest and like, just use it and start building equity and own something that is, generating an income, whether that's like an apartment building or something, like that. So I do think that that's really huge. And like you said, just continuing to build like our podcast and growing our businesses. I think one person that we seen earlier in the year that we could attest to this, when we went and visited him, who I follow a lot for like this kind of content, which you guys should too, if you definitely are like into this type of content, helping yourself past, present, and future on where you're going. You guys should follow Jay Shetty. He's a huge guy in this space,
in the podcast space.
In the podcast space,
definitely.
He does the podcast called what's it called?
You're talking about Jay Shetty?
Yeah. On Purpose.
On Purpose.
That's the podcast. Yeah. So if you guys are into this type of content, I feel like you guys should definitely follow Jay Shetty and watch his podcast, On Purpose. Me and Tor went and seen him live this year in person at his live podcast event. And it's very eye-opening, to see him go from hearing him go from nothing to being this huge podcast, doing, probably hundreds of thousands of millions of downloads, and his book is a very good book as well. He has a number of books, but he was he was training to be a monk. He didn't actually finish, but it's a very good book that you should read. Just
Think Like a Monk.
Yeah, Think Like a Monk. It's very powerful, and it sets like steps and systems that we can use and teach ourselves to be able to, just be past, present, and future, and have all those
slows
things
you
in
down.
one.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the book basically like tells you how to slow down, what we've been talking about, not always be on 100, moving towards your next goal, and like slowing down, being present and grounded, basically.
Yeah, and sometimes slowing down and being like thorough is better than moving at 100 miles an hour trying to get everything done.
Yeah, I love how he kind of brings out like the vulnerability like in people. Like with all his podcasts, they're very like vulnerable. He brings out like the hard like shit that like people don't want to hear.
Like when we were,
but are also like
interested
interested in hearing Julia Fox.
Yeah, so when we watched him bring out Julia Fox, like as he was doing the live podcast session with her, like he was really like digging into her vulnerable areas and like her deep wounds, asking her about what it was like to be a sex worker and how she made money off it, and how it wasn't like a choice for her, or how it made her feel like seen, and why she continued to do it, and what it was like doing hardcore drugs. I think she did heroin, right, for years.
She was addicted.
So I think that, I think it, like you said, it's very vulnerable. But I think it's a really good podcast to like learn from, and those people to see and feel like that there's other people going through like crazy shit like that too. And it was cool to like hear from her, because she's a huge influencer now that a lot of people like look up to or has influence in the world, and she by no means was perfect. She grew up like unfortunately, like horribly, you know, that like made her like turn to
She'll go
drugs.
through, yeah, she
and-
goes through like her parents and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is crazy. But I think that it's a very good podcast to listen to tune into, and that'll help you like, you know, get aligned with your vision and where you want to go, but also stay present in what you're doing and be grateful for, you know, what you've had and what you had.
Yeah, definitely. After this podcast, write down a list of your goals, reflect, go through what you're grateful for now, be in the mindset, and future goals. We would love to hear you guys as we write our goals as well. We'll post on social media, you know, our goals and things like that, and you guys can post in the comments yours.
Yep. Thanks for joining us today. Make sure that you always stay aligned with yourself and who you truly are, and double your hustle.